Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson 10.
And 15 PCA.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast. We just finished up watching the Cloverfield Paradox, which is part 3 of the Cloverfield anthology.
The anthology, which I've liked up to this point.
It's definitely the weakest of the 3 films. It's one of those... The Cloverfield's odd because they're really not sequels. They're intertwined stories that may or may not exist in the same... thing, and they always like tease the other films inside the films, and
when you watch this movie, maybe these are all different realities. Maybe it's all the same things. They're kind of happening, sort of.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, it's like anything in the. It's just there's too many questions to say anything definitive.
We don't know.
So this one definitely is way more sci-fi. Than all the others. The first Cloverfield was a monster movie. Godzilla-ish. Yeah. The second one was like a suspenseful thriller with a little sci-fi thing at the end, and this one is full-blown. It reminded me a lot of like Event Horizon. Yes. I mean, they took a lot of
bad version.
So, you know, basically the beginning of the story, it's all about the energy crisis because we have all this super powerful beam in space, but solar, wind, everything failed, apparently.
That wouldn't happen.
If we have a giant beam that can provide... How was this beam supposed to provide energy? That they're going to build one?
And for being such a sci-fi thing, they never explained it.
How that's going to work.
Was there like, what can it be like kind of harnessed down on the planet, and they took it, collected it? There's got to be...
Who controls it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like an international effort to build this beam of energy. I guess it's not even a antimatter thing. It's like a...
Yeah.
They don't really explain it very well. And like, okay, so if they figure this thing out, they build one on Earth, and then everyone plugs their charger into it. I don't understand how this is all supposed to work out.
I don't know.
But apparently, the world is on the brink of World War III because everyone's fighting over the last little bit of resources.
Yeah.
Which, it's not going to happen, guys. In the most fantasy, socialist fantasy dream, we won't run out of energy, guys.
Well, the thing is, the first area to run out of oil would be the Middle East, and that's not until 2070. And that's the Middle East. But we have...
Yeah, we never drill any... oil in the United States because we still have plenty, and by that time, solar, all those things are going to get cheaper, more abundant.
We always will find a way. We just do.
So the main theme of this film is it's climate change. That's caused everything.
The thing is, I don't like that because the Cloverfield was never about that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like. I liked it when it was kind of this mystery, suspenseful, these monsters kind of thing. I don't like this kind of.
So the overall story, there were some cool parts. There were a lot of
great special effects.
The special effects to the roof, they're amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of suspense, some stupid kind of jump scares. Like, what's going on here?
That's not Cloverfield.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And then the whole time, that's the problem with Cloverfield is, how's this going to connect? Oh, the monster's going to show up? Oh, is this going to happen? Like, you're constantly wondering when things are going to start connecting, so it kind of ruins...
Well, because the thing is, now we've got 3 movies, so now we're kind of expecting things, and that kind of ruins it a little bit.
Yeah, you build up your own expectations just because of a trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch this movie separate from the other films, I think it'd be better.
Yeah.
It kind of would, but you can't embrace it.
Because, again, this would be better because all the other ones are amazing of the first 2 movies, so it's like it doesn't live up to that, so that's why it hurts it.
So they go up the space station. It has the Burger King Kids Club of everything, so they have like one person from every nation, apparently, because that's what you do. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to figure out how to make this thing, and it's not working. Yeah. It's taking them like... first they thought, it's 6 months, and we'll have this thing working, but it's like been 2 years.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, they can live up there? I'm like, wow.
And there's like this whole little mini montage showing like, as the days are going by, and I'm like, this is kind of stupid.
It made sense in the second movie when they did that, because they were down there and there was nothing else to do, but this is a vital mission. We don't need to see this.
Yeah, so...
I just wish it was better actors. Crimson mentioned Event Horizon. I wish it was the actors of Event Horizon. Those are way better actors.
But we got the guy who played Baron Zemo from Civil War. Something's up with Zemo.
Zemo, you know that. We don't trust you, man.
Overall, I don't want. I'm just gonna kind of just talk about individual things.
Well, we're not gonna. Yeah.
But yeah, because there's a lot of weird things that happen with no explanation.
Yeah.
So they finally get the thing to work, but when it does, everything goes haywire. The gravity gets all weird and everything, and. What we were basically theorizing, they jumped to another parallel wall.
That's what we were thinking, yeah.
Because there was a guy on the news station talking about, it's the Cloverfield Paradox. When you have to say the name of your movie in your movie, it's stupid.
I don't like it.
Unless it's Arnold Schwarzenegger saying it.
Because he's classy. He doesn't know. But seriously, it's like when you look at the first 2, the Mission movie, it was a mention of Cloverfield like a street, but see, that was kind of innocuous. This was the whole thing. Yeah, you didn't make it small. You made it too much.
They mentioned it like 3 times. It's actually the name of the station is Cloverfield. Says, come on.
Stupid.
It's so lame. It's so dumb. And then the guy's like, "Oh, we're going to open up rifts in time, and we're talking monsters and demons." Oh, there's the mention of monsters. Demons,
and then there'll be one in the future. There'll be one in the present, and the past, and he mentioned that too.
But how would he even know that?
I mean, we have theory.
Yeah, but it was a spoilers. Ends up being 100% right. But that's the whole thing. It's like, how would that doctor guy know all those things? Like, he was so right.
It's kind of funny because he's a guy. He's the detective in Gotham.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
He's done a lot of stuff, Joe.
He was also the second in command in the first Blade movie.
Yeah, because you look at him, he's kind of like a meathead kind of guy. It's like, I can't believe
it's the professor version.
Yeah, I know, right?
He doesn't play a good crazy professor. I guess it works.
Yeah.
So they're up there, and after the thing fails, and they're like, what the hell happened? There's fires on, everything's going crazy to get everything under control. But then that's when the Event Horizon part of things start happening. Yeah. Things start going crazy and weird, unexplained things.
I thought that was a slightly better because the first part felt like Black Mirror, which is awful.
Oh, yeah.
It was awful.
The first 40 minutes did feel like a rejected episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah, which is not good.
And you know what? And I'm sorry to say, I had to throw on subtitles. Some of the accents were so strong, I needed subtitles.
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And there's like the whole connection of like the main female character. She decided to go on this mission to save the planet Earth and not stay. Well,
because what was the decisiveness? You got to save the Earth.
I can save the human race or hang out with my husband. Are you kidding me?
It's not even a thought.
It's not even the beginning of a thought.
No, you're gonna. Guess what? If it was like a chance to get a mission to Mars, I would do it if it saved the human race. Okay, you got to forget your family.
Yeah,
right?
it's more important than you.
Yeah,
it's literally the mankind forever. Yeah. Come on, that's like a reoccurring thread,
which I didn't like.
Kind of dumb.
That was probably the weakest part of the movie.
And so more and more kind of crazy stuff starts happening, kind of scary. And that's when we get like the jump scares, and some of the things they explain and some of the things make no sense because there's like this engineer guy where like. After the jump, he started like feeling his face and everything. You kind of think, "Oh, geez, is he falling apart or something?"
Yeah.
And it's just everyone's like distrustful of each other, and that's like another trope. Everyone's, "Oh, you can't trust them Russian guys," and then then everyone's fighting.
Again, at this point, like you said a little bit earlier, like we said a couple months ago, the world needs the energy. We gotta
get over that crap.
Get over that shit.
Well, maybe that's why you should have done an international team. Maybe you should have just not done that.
Maybe you had all Americans and a few people.
I don't know. They never explain why that was that way. Because even like an Italian guy from like Italy, like what's Italy's space program? I'm not aware of this.
I can understand a Russian one. I can understand Chinese. I can understand Japanese and American. That's about it. And British. That's about it. Yeah.
So the whole team set up again. The Burger King Kids Club. Gotta have one of everyone, right? Surprised someone wasn't in a wheelchair too.
I know, right?
Which would be completely useless.
My name is Wheels, huh?
We end up with a handicapped person in this movie, in a weird way. So they're trying to figure out, like, first they're trying to we got to repair the ship, we got to survive.
Yeah.
But then they notice where's the Earth?
Yeah.
So they're looking through all the windows and scanning, nothing. Yeah. They can't find the Earth anywhere. So we're thinking, did they travel somewhere, like literally moved, or they went into a parallel world where there is no Earth, or something, because the sun's still there. Yeah. And we kept like, couldn't they use star charts like old school?
There's all these people, none of them, especially in outer space. Especially in outer space, there's literally like anyone that knew astronomy. They're in outer space. Not one person.
Some basic star maps. I don't know how much of that would be helpful, but that was like the whole thing.
You could see the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, all these constellations. You can start mapping where are we at exactly.
Then everyone starts fighting. The Earth's gone. We destroyed the Earth with this beam, and we didn't know what we were doing. We were playing God, everyone's fighting, and no one's working.
Yeah,
that's all like doom and gloom. And it's like,
I like the American. He kind of kept it together, like, guys, we gotta.
He went to his room, he broke down a little bit, then he wiped his tears away and said, "Okay, let's get back to work.
We got to get back to work. What are we going to do? Just sit here and just
let the auction run out and everything?"
Yeah. And another thing I don't like too, because before they used the beam, there was a guy praying, which was nice. And
he said like a little prayer.
Yeah, and they kind of mock at the other guy.
Oh, is that Sunday school over? Of course, a guy who has a little bit of faith, he has to be the
odd one, right?
Yeah. Why even say anything? Why are they at each other's throats? It's so weird.
Why would you do that? It's stupid. For 2 years, they're perfectly fine, and now all of a sudden, I know things have gone sideways, but let's not.
And, so then the captain is telling, okay, guys, let's get this together and start working together. And, of course, the one guy with who was having the eye problems doesn't trust the Russian guy at all. They even, get into a...
Nah.
He gets so angry at the Russian guy because he thinks he sabotaged it. Yeah. He, goes to the 3D printer, and I guess he has security clearance, and he builds, a gun, like a 3D printed gun. And he's going to go kill him. Like, yikes, guys, we're killing each other and fighting. And I thought for a second that maybe that the jump made people go crazy. But I guess that never
No,
really
that was never anything.
It was just the stress of the situation. Yeah. So they start fighting, but before he can even shoot him, he starts having like a little bit of a freak out. Yeah. Like his eyeballs all going wacky and weird and stuff. Like, ugh. It reminded me of the scene from Poltergeist. Remember when his face is falling apart? Very similar. So it just seems like this movie took ideas from lots of other things.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. It wasn't subtle. It was like in your face.
Then he starts throwing up and he starts, basically convulsing, and he's like, holy crap, this guy tried to kill him, but they try to save him. Take him to the med bay or whatever, and then he ends up just like exploding of worms.
Those worms, because earlier the worms were missing.
Yeah, little things like that, like all the little weird things are missing and stuff. So like literally he's throwing up all the worms. Yeah. I'm like, ugh, like why would that happen? It's so nasty, and it's...
At that point, I want to die. Okay, that's so disgusting.
And just all the little crazy things happen. They end up hearing screams in one of the door, like they're like, hey, we can hear someone in one of the it's like a panel on the wall. Yeah. So everyone's like, do we open the panel? I'm like, well, what could be in there? Yeah. They open it up and there's a woman in there, and she's like, like she phased through the wall, so like the wires are going through her body.
Oh, it's so gross.
And she knows one of the other ladies. I guess her name's Hamilton. She's like, you gotta help me. And everyone's like, how the hell does this lady know who you are? Yeah. And they basically have to like cut her out because there's pipes going through her legs and arms, and they get her stabilized and everything. And everyone's like, well, what is this? What's happening?
Yeah,
this can't be happening. There's no chance of a stowaway or anything like that.
Yeah, they opened up the leg and there was tubes like wires going through her leg. And at that point, they're gonna say, "Don't let her look at it. Let her just not look at it. She's gonna out some volts."
When someone has if anyone has like a compound fracture, you just don't let them look at it because then they can start going to shock, start freaking out. So we have that lady's on the ship, and she's kind of getting fixed up. She's in the med bay. We have what's face blew up of worms. Yeah. So we're in this situation of like nothing matters. Yeah. Like everything you think is going to be isn't. No. So even little things like one of the guys is trying to work on the panels, and the panels start messing up and moving around. Like they literally, it's not like I'm just hard to explain visually to see it, but the panel itself is changing. Yeah. So like the realities are changing.
It's like if you like made a bunch of I would say some lines here vertical and then horizontal, and then you made them kind of warp in a little bit twisted. That's what it looks like.
So they're not going away; they're just changing.
Yeah, changing. Yeah.
So then they start basically figuring out, okay, that whole paradox thing is happening where we must have crashed realities and something, and it's just everything on this station is starting to tear itself apart. Yeah. It's really weird, but they don't explain why that's happening ever. Why would it do it? Because a lot of weird things start to happen. Yeah. Like beyond weird. Then they're going back and forth. And during this whole entire space thing, they keep cutting back to Earth with the lady's husband. And things start happening on Earth. Yeah. Big explosions and all this stuff. And they're like, no one knows what's going on. I'm thinking, is this connecting to the first film? Because the first film, a monster shows up in New York City and starts smashing everything. Yeah. And we're thinking, is it monsters? Is it aliens? Is it just... because there was the whole threat of Russia invading and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah. And we both agreed we would rather see that movie.
I thought the husband was so dynamic. That's my Cloverfield. That's what I wanted.
Everything he was going through
was interesting.
Everything happened on the space station felt too sci-fi. It
was too grandiose. I didn't want that with Cloverfield. I liked it when it was
subtle.
Or when you have a big thing, but it's about these individuals going through that big thing.
And this one is just so focused on the sci-fi stuff, and
it really brought it down. It did for me.
So what's his face is working on a panel, and it starts to like eat his arm. Like literally his arms get sucked into it, and it's like moving him all around. They save him, but it lobbed off his arm.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like Stumpy McStumperson.
Yeah, thing, and it's nasty. You see the bone and the muscles, but it doesn't even hurt.
He's like, I feel no pain, and he's like,
well, because he was first down there, to look at him, fucking arms down, dude, and like, he didn't even notice it.
So they get him to med bay, and he's like, oh my arm's gone. What's going on? Yeah. And the doctor's like, I don't know. He's like, no pain, no nothing. He's like, I don't know what to say. Yeah. Everything about physics, and it just doesn't exist here. Everything that's going on. Then the one lady who they saved from the wall, I guess they start talking to her, and she's like, who's that Chinese lady? I'm like, she's our engineer for the systems. Like, no, I'm the engineer for the systems. And so they're starting to figure out, okay, she's from another universe where instead of her, the black lady who's the main character, going up, she stayed on Earth, and then other people. So some of the crew members are the same, some of them are different. Yeah.
And then the worst part comes up here, though. That's really odd.
And then she tells. Well, see, before that, she tells her, "Don't trust the Russian guy. He's a bad person." So the main captain guy looks up in the files and sees that he's been sending.
The German guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the German guy's been sending communications. to back down to Germany and saying, yeah, make sure the system doesn't work. We're going to invade, take over Russia and all that. And then once it's done, then turn it on so we can get the power. The captain basically goes up to him, beats him up, throws him in the basically like an airlock thing, locks him in there, like, you're done, you're outside the communication. He's like, I never did that. No. And then it's because that parallel universe version of him did that.
Yeah, because the machine, because the station's remembering that instead of their universe.
So yeah,
so change information.
Some of the, I guess some of the systems even swapped over.
Yeah.
So he's locked in there and everything, and then the door becomes unlocked, and he's like, well, okay, what's going on? He's walking around and sees that dude's arm, like Thing from Madden's Family, is like moving around, and he's like, everyone come to deck, whatever, come check this out.
And the guy's like, that's my arm, what the heck's he doing?
They pick it up and they take it to the med bay, and he put like a crate over it, like a see-through crate, and like, what do we do with this? It's a freaking arm.
I don't know.
And then he sees that then the guy who's missing his arm, everyone's freaking out because, understandably, like, what the hell's going on?
And he goes, are you moving? He goes, are we flipping you off right now?
He's like, yeah, are you controlling it? Like, everyone doesn't even know what's going on.
No, I'm not, no.
So the hand starts making like it's holding a pencil. It's like, oh my god, maybe it's trying to tell us something. Get it a pen. It gets a pen and it says, open up the one guy who died of the worms. Yeah. And they're like, open him up. So basically you got to do an autopsy, which I thought was weird that they wouldn't have done even a body scan.
Yeah, the Indian guy was a doctor. Why didn't he do that?
Yeah. And like, so they cut him open and lo and behold, the piece of the gyroscope thingy was inside of him. Why did that happen?
Unless that arm was from another reality and that already happened to them. I don't know.
Yeah, why would the arm know?
It's
because they never explain that.
The arm's not sentient. It's weird.
Yeah, that's so crazy and odd and strange. And so it had to have been from the future.
Yeah.
Maybe it is literally his arm from the future.
But why would the arm remember anything? Is this the Metal Gear Solid clause?
See, like when you put his arm in the thing and then it took his arm, then the arm went to the future and then it came back. I don't know.
And maybe somehow, it's like, since it's a dimensional thing and not like separate, maybe it's still like things that's connected to a body that can remember. I mean, we're just throwing things off the wall here. I mean, it's wacky.
A lot of stuff they don't explain.
Yeah.
So after all that, they cut him open, they get the gyroscope, and they figure out, the stars start getting mapped and everything. Like, whoa, everything's upside down. What happened was, from the position they were in front of Earth, they just went to the other side, so they're on the other side of the sun. Yeah. So technically, Earth is still there. Like, oh god, we found the Earth. Send a communication, tell them we're up here, send crews up here. And they're like, wait a second, we can't send any messages, but we can receive. And apparently the world's at World War III.
Yeah, it's all screwed up.
And they're listening to news feeds. They're like, the Cloverfield station crashed into the ocean after an explosion. They're like, well, we're still here. What do you mean we crashed into the ocean? And then they basically all figure out we're not in our world.
No,
we're in the world of the lady they saved out of the wall.
Yeah.
And they're like, holy crap, but we can weigh our options here. Do we stay in this world? Or do we try to figure out a way? Because they basically said, if we can fire that cannon again, the light ray thing, it should take us back to our world.
Yeah, and they also said there were 2 years in the future of that world.
Yeah.
So maybe this would happen in their world if they didn't get back. That's what they're probably thinking in their head. So we got to get back.
And then we get this whole concept of the blonde lady from inside the wall. She's from this world, and she tells the other lady, because I guess they were friends. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, you're still on Earth, and you have a family and everything. And I guess her family died in her world. And then, again, a whole thing about the energy. She had these power cells, and she was stealing energy.
Yeah.
And then I guess it caused a house fire, and it killed her kids.
Yeah.
So, but in this world, her kids are still alive.
And she hasn't done that yet.
And she's like, you can stay here and be with your family and everything. Like, why is she pushing so hard?
I'm not thinking, and also weird to go, there's another woman, there's another husband. You're going to leave your husband in your world, and you're going to go to these kids? It's like, they're not your kids.
Oh, by the way, your mom had a twin sister you never knew about. Like, what are you going to say? It's so stupid.
Yeah, why would you even think of that?
And you're like an astronaut person, so you're pretty smart, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You gotta use your brain.
So maybe they're also proving, maybe in that world she's an astronaut too, but since she had her kids, she didn't want to leave her kids. Yeah. I guarantee that's what it was.
It's so dumb because we've all lost people. Anyone who's over 30 has probably lost somebody at some time. Even I'm like, if I could somehow go to a world where my dad was still alive, but I was there too, I'd be like, no, you can't do that.
That's weird.
That's not your world. You cannot do that.
No.
You have a duty to your planet. I'm thinking, so you're going to leave your husband behind?
Yeah. I mean, the only way I could see that work is somehow, if it's a parent, and everyone you knew in your world's dead.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe you're dead in this world. Yeah, hey, let's just work this out. But that wasn't the case here.
So, you have that old conflict, because she even goes to the captain and tells him, which I'm glad that she didn't...
do something sneaky.
She's like, okay, once we get everything ready... Once you're going to do the firing, I'm going to get into a space pod with what's-her-face, and then we're going to go back.
And he's like,
and then he basically just says everything we just did.
Yeah.
Moron. There's another woman down there who's you, and there's no way that's not going to work.
No.
She's like, I gotta warn them about the fire. And it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
See, but no, that's so stupid. It's so dumb.
It's not your world. You gotta look at it that way. It's not your
even
kids.
I thought at the time, why didn't she just tell the blonde lady, hey, go to me and warn me about the power cell thing?
Yeah.
You don't have to be the one to actually physically do it.
Exactly.
So that's the plan. Once they get up and running again, that's what they're going to do. And they, I guess they had another part where the scientist, the woman from China, the Chinese lady, she figured out, oh, what's happening is there's condensation or something, and that's what's throwing off the numbers. We need better ventilation. She goes in there to do the ventilation thing, and then a bunch of water starts pouring into the room.
Now, this is where the science makes sense. My theory was it was the other shepherd because that got underwater. So maybe that water was coming into that dimension because it was
because there's like, oh, crews are going to recover because it fell in the ocean in their world.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is since it was underwater, that water's coming in
to their ship now because
that
makes sense. It looked like seawater too. Yeah. That was not water from the space station. There's no way. It looked like seawater.
She's in there screaming for help, and then they go to try to save her. But the problem is the pressure from the water's building up. It blows the hole, and then it instantly
freezes. I don't think it would freeze that fast.
Oh, either way, she's dead. It doesn't matter how it happens.
Yeah, she'd be dead.
Oh, she's a goner in a horrible way too. Are they gonna find her up there at the end of the movie? They go there. Holy crap! She's frozen. She Walt Disneyed herself. No,
she's all.
She should have done like a thumbs up or something.
At that point, why not?
Han Solo. She's all. But
frozen in carbonite.
So she's dead now. Everyone just kind of gets getting picked off one by one.
Yeah.
Then like, holy crap, we need to get these things fired up because we're losing the station. It's going to fall apart. Then they figured out why. Then they're like, well, since we need to get that other lady, the blonde lady, to help because she was the engineer on the other one.
Yeah.
So okay, she started figuring out, okay, if we give me this much power, I can get the thing to fire. Like, okay, we have to turn off all systems, even oxygen.
Yeah.
And once we get the oxygen turned off, we're gonna have 20-some minutes of good air. Or it was like 2 hours of good air, but by the time everything kind of happens, so the guy with only one arm now goes down there to like shut everything off, and then some magnetic thing happens.
Which, again, that doesn't make any sense, but...
See, the water thing kind of makes sense in a weird way. So his belt and everything starts getting pulled off on him, and he's like, whoa, I'm getting magnetic interference from down here. And I guess he was using this, like, goop, and it was like a metal welding thing.
And they showed it so many times, we knew that was going to...
Yeah, it was going to come because he kept, like, repairing, like, pipes and stuff with it. And then since... has anyone ever played with that magnetic putty? If you put, like, a magnet of it, it starts pulling towards the magnet. Mm-hmm. Basically, that's what's happening. It starts coming towards him and everything.
But he's not even paying attention. He's looking at the wall instead of...
But this is funny. I thought it was going to just turn into like a spike and kill him. No, it like grabs him and absorbs him.
Which is weird.
Yeah, like it's been trying to eat him.
Yeah.
Because that's the same guy who got like his arm ripped into the wall. So was the spaceship literally trying to consume him?
Maybe, I don't think so, but again, that's a Event Horizon thing.
Yeah.
Not this.
Yeah,
because they literally had monsters in it.
Because I seriously thought if it would have just like became like, because it looked like they were sharp, like it just stabbed him.
I thought it was going to stab him. He's going like that, and his head goes up, and he's dead.
It literally pulled him in, and he's like, "Oh my god, help me!" And then they see the video feed, and it's like pulling at his face.
I go, dude, you don't want to live after that. You don't got an arm anymore. You only got one. You're almost.
So that guy gets pulled into the wall, and he's just gone.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You never see him ever again.
No.
He's gone. So
and that bottom part of the space station's all messed up now.
And we'll see what happens since that area has been super oxygenized. Yeah. One little spark would blow it up and boom, because like one of the things hit the wall and I knew it was once the magnetic thing was happening, it was pulling all the metal, like one little spark. Then the metal thing hits one of the things and boom. Yeah. So now they have to decouple one of the little spinny things. Mm-hmm. And so it's the captain, the main character, black lady, and then
I'm sorry, I don't remember the names. I'm sorry. It's just...
I just don't.
Nah, I just don't.
So, they go down there to try to fix it, and then classic sci-fi stuff. Oh, one of us has to stay behind to uncouple it. So the captain kind of says, oh, guys, go over there. Then he locks the door, saying, I have to be the one to do it.
He didn't want to tell him that, but he had to do it.
So, basically, her whole plan to, like, escape it to this other world kind of goes out the window because she becomes captain.
Yeah.
He's like, you have to get everyone home. He decouples it, and he goes floating out in space.
And the best part is, I'm going to Earth. It's all bye.
What sucks for that whole situation is, he still has, like, oxygen. What do? You turn off your oxygen? Do you just let yourself die?
I mean, what are you going to do? You're so close to space.
There's nothing he can do.
And you're so close to the sun. Maybe you might just get burned by a solar flare at that point.
I mean, do you just sit there and just wait for your oxygen to slowly run out?
I know, right?
It's so sad. So he died a heroic death, but I always enjoy characters who do a heroic thing. And
he's American. So
he was an American guy, So he's dead. So the crew is down to like 4 people.
Yeah, basically. That one girl, the British girl, the Indian guy, and the German guy. That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gone.
So they're like, holy crap, okay, let's get this thing up and running, and we're going to get home, and we'll send What's-Her-Face home. But then she starts, because the whole movie you're thinking, oh, she's going to betray them.
Because then she starts looking, just by looking at her, like, oh yeah, she's being a little too...
She gets the gun out of the freaking safe.
How does she know the gun was there? I just thought of that now.
Remember when they were bringing him to the warm guy to the table? He had a gun, whatever. Where do you get a gun? Oh, stow it away. And they put it into a locker.
Maybe she saw.
And she was on the other side of the glass.
Okay.
So I guess she saw.
But...
She gets the gun and she's going to go kill Baron Zemo. That's his name in this movie now. So she goes up there and she shoots him.
Yeah, she shoots the Indian guy first.
Yeah, because she's like, she wants the little key code thingies.
Yeah. And it's so funny, after we bought this, what you just said about her being a captain, that lady was going to still go to Earth.
Yeah.
And she knocks her out, basically, and leaves her, and they're like, oh, she's going to launch down there to Earth to get to her
family that's not her family.
Yeah.
It's just like a complete mess, because everything we're talking about is happening on the space station. Back down on Earth, the husband ends up finding a little girl that was at the hospital destroyed.
And her family's in Philadelphia. How she ended? So the dimension shift must have affected Earth too.
Yeah, something,
because she crossed country.
And they bring up a fallout shelter. So if anyone's seen the second Cloverfield, there's the whole.
See, the part on the Earth was so compelling. I wanted that movie,
but there's only 10 minutes of it.
I know. That's the
so
problem.
He basically saves that little girl and then takes her down to the fallout shelter. Saying,
and she's watching a cartoon. We don't know what cartoon it is, but getting some title.
I bet you if you go on the Slusho website, there's some little cartoon.
Speaking of Slusho, there's a little Slusho toy on the station.
There's little connections. Like there's a whole I want to say kind of a ARG type game online that has to do with the websites and.
Then you're getting the Al Riznick territory. There's all these little things in there.
Yeah, so if you want to explore that, go ahead. I don't have the mental capacity to figure all that stuff out. So he ends up in the fallout shelter. You know, his storyline's basically over. Go back up to the ship, and she's like, you know what? I can't. I have to get back home. I have to abandon that family, or whatever, because it's not going to work. Yeah. So we think Baron Zemo's dead. We think the doctor guy's dead. Yeah. So it's just the blonde lady, the tall blonde lady, and the main character.
And the thing in the hand.
And then the hand, because she ends up back in the hospital.
And it's still alive.
And it's like tapping his fingers like, oh, they got a hand that's still alive. It's so gross.
Like, I want to present thing.
I thought she was going to use it.
That would have been funny. She starts choking.
Yeah, I know, tosses it at her. So she's like stalking her. She's like, you could go back to your family. They need their mother and everything. Just trying to play the emotional card.
Yeah.
She even puts like one of the videos on the screen.
Yeah, so messed up.
Yeah, like what a B word.
And then she wants to save that shepherd for my planet needs it. Well, I can give you the schematics. We're not going to do that.
She gave her all the plans.
Yeah.
To make another one.
You have to build another one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sorry, we didn't mean for any of this to happen.
We want to go to our Earth. We can't care about yours.
And then the whole thing, oh, you don't think I'd kill 3 people to save, 8 billion? What about the 8 billion on my planet?
Oh, they don't deserve it?
You're killing 8 billion plus 3. You know, you ain't killing just 3.
And the 3, see, we beat you.
3 extra. So, like, again, it's her logic, but she didn't, I'll just live on your planet then. Because my planet's in World War III, we're done. They're pretty much...
I don't understand. Why would she even not think about that?
So, she's trying to trick her into staying. And
another thing that's also weird, too, like you said, there was no thing tying her to the planet.
Yeah.
So why would she care? She never said, well, I got a husband and kids down there. Why don't they at least say that? So, okay, that's the reason why she wants to stay on the planet. She has a family down there. Well no, okay. That's never just okay. It's all about her friendship with her, which is weird.
It's weird. I'm like, were they like lovers or something?
I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's a strange little relationship they have. Yeah. So they end up fighting. She ends up getting the gun from her. And, classic, what was it? The fourth Alien film? She basically dies that exact way.
Yeah. Basically shoots out the friggin' mirror, seeing where the video's going, and she gets sucked out of space.
Yeah, and she gets pulled out and out of
space. And she's still there for a second, but she's thinking, I'm not going to let you... I would have said, you're not going to die the easy way. You're going to go out of space.
You're going to die the way... because you freaking going to sabotage the whole ship.
Yeah.
She gets sucked out into space, so we're thinking, holy crap, she's all by herself. Baron Zemo's still alive. He got shot a couple times, but
yay! Thank God she's got someone else to help her.
She patches him up as best she could. Okay,
this is now the best part of the movie coming up.
And she goes to because they're still in the parallel universe. She goes to the communication thing, and then she gives a message to herself saying, "Okay, I'm calling you. It's gonna be weird. I'm you. Don't question it. If you installed power cells in your home, take them out. I've given you the schematics to maybe build a new shepherd system, and maybe it can help your people, maybe not, because this whole situation is because I guess now with the corrected codes, I guess they can build it on Earth now. They don't have to build it in outer space anymore.
Yeah.
So the whole danger of it blowing up is not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, because they figured out those kinks, basically.
Yeah, so she goes and go to your family, hug them and kiss them and all that stuff. I'm like, it's okay.
I mean, I like the first part, but again, at least that was the best way of handling that.
Yeah, so...
I'm getting schematics, there you go, have fun with it. I can't help you anymore.
They go back, they power it up, they fire it off, boom. And I'm thinking, did it work? Yeah. Then the Earth's within sight. Like, yay, they found the Earth. And then the command control's like, oh, where have you been? They go, we figured out the power couplings, how to get it to work right, send a crew up here right away to start doing repairs, and then the communications get cut. Yeah. Like, okay, let's get back down to Earth and everything.
And then the energy thing works.
Yeah. Because it used to be purple, now it's white, so it's like a stable light. Yeah. So they're taking an escape pod back down to Earth. Hooray, everything's great. And then, like, we get back to the husband. He's in the fallout shelter with that little girl. And he's like, well, we found the station's back. We found your wife. And he's like, oh, thank goodness. And she's like, yeah, she's coming back down. He's like, what are you talking about? Why is she coming back down? And then, like, we had no time. We couldn't tell her, and which is stupid. The first thing they should have said was,
we have monsters down here. Are you okay?
Yeah,
that's the first thing you say.
There's problems on Earth. Don't come back. Oh. That should have been the first thing he said, but that's not what happened. So
that's a dumb thing.
That's a dumb, stupid thing. Then the husband starts freaking out. Tell him to go back. Tell him to go back. And then we see the pods coming down
to the sky.
To the sky, and then we see the big monster
from the first movie.
From the first movie, and it just kind of pops out of the clouds. Yeah. And I don't know if I want to go back. Did it attack the pod, or was it?
I don't know if it even hit it. Maybe I think it just barely missed the pod. But they got to get out of there and start running.
See, as far as I'm concerned, in the first film, the monster wasn't that big.
I think the monster was maybe as big as Empire State Building, but it wasn't like that. Yeah, that's 5 times as that size.
Yeah, it was like above the cloud line.
I mean, that's even bigger than Godzilla. We're talking huge.
So, are these movies connected or not?
I don't think they are.
I don't think
I think there are different anthologies of the same parallel universes.
It's the same world over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to be.
Like you were saying, I think it is. I think they're the same. I think they're different Earths. I just think they are. They're just different.
So a lot of similar things happen. Yeah. So part 2 isn't a sequel to part 1 in a way that all these things happen together.
Didn't you get kind of mad? I'm thinking about it too. I didn't like the fact how this movie ended the way the second one did. Oh, you got away from that monster, but there's monsters here. Just like the second movie.
Because the second one ended with her down in that.
With a human
in the
monster.
bunker with the human guy who was completely off his rocker. She finally escapes, and he was like this big, like, oh, the aliens are attacking, and that's what really was happening.
Yeah, but that was aliens, though. That wasn't necessarily just a monster.
Maybe they weren't aliens. Maybe they were just monsters. But it did look like an alien ship because it was floating around.
Yeah,
and they had those weird creatures.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, I want to see separate, but definitely, like we said, out of the 3, it's the weakest one. The characters in the spaceship weren't compelling at all. I didn't care for any of them.
I wanted the Earth story.
Yeah,
was much better.
Wouldn't it have been interesting, like, if we just got more of that and then only a little bit of outer space?
See, what I don't like is, because I don't know if they had all these movies planned out from the beginning, but in the first movie, there's no mention of any energy crisis, really. No real mention
So was that in the past, or is this in their time? Because, unless they're saying only their country everywhere else but the United States.
But that's what we're talking about the movies being connected, which I don't think they are.
I think Abrams just making this tapestry. Oh, I'm going to do different dimensions, realities, and we're going to go with the ride.
See, the second movie and the third movie may be connected. Maybe. Because the second movie is so closed in just on this one mini story. Yeah.
But wouldn't it have been nice to mention energy in any of the first 2 movies? Maybe there is. Maybe there's subtle hints I didn't see.
I don't think so. I don't think there is.
I don't think so either.
So overall, I'm glad I didn't see this in theaters like it was a theater release.
I would have been mad.
I would have been upset.
So that way it bumps up 7, maybe.
It's okay.
It's okay.
If you're into Cloverfield and you want to see all the films, it's worth a watch.
Again, I'm a Cloverfield fan, so it's fine for me. But if you're not,
it's kind of boring,
and you don't like sci-fi, like that kind of, I would say skip this.
And you don't mind not getting all the answers.
Yeah, you're not.
Why would the arm know? And why would
I left the arm behind him at the end. He's flipping watch. That's why he should have took me. He still left the arm.
So they left it up there. It's still up there. And like, why was the ship trying to eat him? It didn't try to kill him. It was literally absorbing him. Why was it doing that?
I mean, I'm trying to think. Maybe the dimension shift is where the guy was there, and then that's when it moved and got his arm. But why would his arm still be alive? See, that's the only part that makes no sense.
Yeah.
The water, at least, if you look at it sci-fi wise, it makes sense. Well, it's underwater, so therefore the water's coming in from that reality.
It's substantially creepy. I know they wanted to have more creepy, kind of scary scenes, but I don't know.
It's just they just weren't as compelling. Again, it was, like I said before, it was too grandiose. It's too big. I like you said, when it's a big thing happening here, but it's about these characters down here trying to survive.
That's what Cloverfield's at its best. Yeah. And this one tried to do both.
And it just didn't work.
It just made me want the husband story.
Yeah, the first two. It just did.
So, and then there was even hints at monsters when he went to the hospital to find the little girl. You see like a big shadow, and it could be maybe it's an airplane, but it looked like something was flapping a little bit.
And that girl's crying, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I hope she's not stuck. I thought she was stuck in the
rubble. Because she's standing still. Yeah. And it's like, come on.
Well, she must have been transported because, like you said, she was from Philadelphia. She got transported around the world.
Unless something like, she was on a school trip and they went to
maybe, but why is she in her pajamas?
They never explained anything.
Yeah,
they didn't explain a damn thing.
No.
I don't know, because there were flying monsters in the second Cloverfield. So I'm wondering if that's connected.
I'm hoping if there's a part 4, which I'm hoping that they get back to the first 2 movies.
I want to see a movie, because I remember after we saw the second Cloverfield, we were thinking, oh, cool, the next one's going to be like a Resistance movie. Because at the end she goes, if anyone can hear this radio message, there's survivors in the city.
And Houston,
Yeah, come here, we're forming a resistance, we're going to fight back these monsters.
That's what I thought it was going to be. And what gets me, and I liked it because it made sense, because early on, again, it was foreshadowing, but it was actually good because she goes, I always run away from my problems. So now she's not running away from her problems.
She's running towards it to help out.
To help out for once. See, that wasn't nice. That's the way to do that. I don't know.
It's okay. It's a C.
Again, my goodness, not even close to the suspense of the second movie. You're on the edge of your seat the whole movie.
I thought the first movie was like a B- because it was like, it was like a big
giant monster. You didn't know what the monster was about.
I really, really liked the second one.
Second one
that was an A. That was an A+. It's like, okay, I'm teacher, and the student turned into a B-, then turned into an A, now he turned into C-. Come on, you got to work better.
You're averaging out to like a B-, C+ now. It's like...
Overall, it's on Netflix, so it's not going to cost you anything if you already have Netflix.
It only gets a 7 for me because this wasn't in the theaters. I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's a C.
I know that shouldn't matter, but it does.
Overall, it's just a lot of cool things happen, but then with no explanation, then explaining other things a little much.
That's fine where you're in a basement, or you're in a cellar, or you're in the first movie where you're running around New York, you know what's going on. That's not fine when you're in an outer space station. I want an explanation now.
Yeah.
They're the top of the top. We want to know what's going on, and we're not getting it.
Why did the worms go into that guy? Why did he have that gyroscope in him? Why did the arm know about the other guy? I think if you
eliminate, again, you want to be more specific, eliminate the arm and the worms, that would have helped a little bit too. It just would have helped.
I theorized wouldn't it have been better if he would have had like an artificial heart. And since the jump made like the mechanics inside of his heart screw up and that's what killed him, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Like, they scan his body. Oh, his artificial heart. It's a mess. Everything, that's what killed him.
Wouldn't it be like when they go to them with like a flash of light and all of a sudden things got shifted a little bit, like showed a little, okay, things got shifted. Then you go, okay, things got scrambled. No, they didn't even do that.
Yeah.
give me a little bit of that.
They kind of did a little bit. Remember when he opened up the panel and it's like, well, everything's a mess.
But that was done they did it like in a normal human way, not in this
scientific.
It's just
too much sci-fi. I think it's a failure of trying to be too much like a lot of other things.
Yeah,
it's one part Alien, one part Event Horizon,
one part Dark Mirror.
Yeah, 2 parts Dark Mirror because all the British gas. I don't know. I have nothing else to say.
I don't either. We were only going to explain it, but we did almost explain the movie. We weren't supposed to, but we're just thinking about it now. It's like,
and all the little scenes that kind of come up, I did want it more. We got a good look at the monster at the end, but it almost seems silly to me.
But that's what it looked like in the first movie, though.
But the way it's like just screaming at the sky, why is it doing that?
And not only that, it's like, okay, well, wasn't the monster, unless they went to America, the monster was in New York.
Yeah.
So how did he get over there?
See, but maybe there was multiple attacks all at the same time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's weird because there's nothing about Cloverfield, the heart of it, with the monsters. Are they aliens? Is it a monster because of God? Because we're messing with nature now? Because obviously the energy beam? What is it? We still don't know what it is.
Did a pocket dimension open up that's filled with just things? And are these like literally? The guy did bring up the word demons. Is this some type of satanic monster from hell?
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, Zaha, making fun of religion now, huh? Look at that.
I know, right? Yeah, let's see my twisted twist now.
So, definitely it's worth checking out if you're bored and have nothing else to do.
And you're a Cloverfield fan. Yeah. I would preface that too, big time.
If you are looking for answers, like watch someone. I'm pretty sure someone's going to do a movie. Everything explained, and they're going to point out every little thing. Just watch that, and you'll be good.
Yeah, we're not going to go through the layers and go into the website.
Yeah, somebody's going to figure all that out, and that probably is a better storyline than what this movie gave us.
That's
I'm left with the meh.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna wrap it up. We're done.
Yeah,
we're done. Nothing else to say. Thanks for watching, guys. We love all your comments. Tell me if you guys like this one. Out of all the 3 Cloverfield films, which one did you like the most? Me was number 2. Definitely 2 was the best for me. So I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
N15 PCA.
Thanks for watching.
See you later. Bye.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.